Good morning and welcome back to Rescue Residents. Today I'd like to talk about the one thing I've done each day so far this week and then cover a little bit of a summary about our finances. Rescue Residents, where our vehicles and our participants have lived a life of service. It's our mission to bring them both back to life. Okay, I've got my notebook here, and if you're not tracking this, I put a post up on the updates on the website. And basically talk to the idea that I want to try to get at least one small thing done every single day because I know that I've got a lot we have to get done before this is fully up and operational, and I have about a year before I can really focus on this 100% every day. So last big update included basically that we decided we were going to be able to get a small vehicle as a normal part of operations for the organization, a thing called a Solo by Electromechanica. So from there, last Saturday, so basically a week ago almost, there were a lot of issues with links for the website to social media. So made sure all of our social media accounts had our current logo, that new one that was updated in the post, but also that the links on the website connected to all of our social media accounts correctly. So that was one of the things I made sure to get done on Saturday, the 5th. Also designed and ordered business cards. So with that logo finalized and with the website getting to where it's really in a good place, I wanted to kind of at least start finding out what the right layout for business cards are. So ordered business cards on Saturday, and those actually came in. I can show you one of those right now. Yeah, they came in yesterday. I was kind of excited to be able to see them and show them to a couple people. So this is what, for right now, I only ordered them for myself and for Rasan, just to kind of make sure that these are what we want to order, and then we can order them for anybody else who's part of the organization, for Shai and for Enrique, who are now board members as well. So this is kind of the way the business card looks right now. It's got my information on there, and then includes the QR code so that when you hand out the business card, they can scan and immediately go straight to our website and learn a little bit more about exactly what we do. I know there's a couple people I've talked to that needed information about the organization, and now I can go back to them and give them these business cards and actually get to where they have the information and they can easily get in contact with me or check out the website or share that information with others. So got those ordered, and those actually came in yesterday. So after getting the business cards done, I confirmed that we had a meeting for the next day with Score.org mentor Paula, and then also ordered Rasan's business cards then in the morning. I wanted to make sure that the orders all went through and that worked fine. And then I did create a Redbubble account to start testing out merchandise. I should have stickers coming here soon. I just wanted to see what their print quality is like. Also kind of how their accounts work, where you end up taking, they were going to take some kind of a percentage in order to increase, make sure that they gain their own profits too. And it was quite a lot. So I wanted to see if they had any options for supporting nonprofits by potentially not charging us as large of a fee as they do charge for-profit organizations or for for-profit artists. And they had nothing. There's no way that they can do that. So I'm still kind of shopping around for the right merch store where we can create our stickers, t-shirts, magnets, things like that. And it potentially supports nonprofit organizations a little bit better. I don't think that Redbubble understands that they could potentially do something different for each, and have the full-on for-profit where they're making money and their artists are making money. But then also with us, where our goal is to try to help people, they could potentially not take as large of a profit. So they don't really have a process for that, and I'm trying to see if there are any merch store type vendors out there that do afford that opportunity for nonprofit organizations. So if anybody knows, leave that in the comments. Also, regarding the post for this idea of doing something every single day, I'll put a link in the description to our post on our website. So that way, if you aren't tracking with where we're at with this, you can read the last post. I didn't do an update video, but this time I'm not going to do an update post. I'll just probably post and then link them to the video. So on Monday, I was doing research in the morning and came across a website called Invisible People. And they do a lot of really, really good research. They go out and they do interviews with people experiencing homelessness so that they can kind of bring awareness to the idea of homelessness and the fact that people need to change our attitudes potentially on how people view homeless people and what it is that they're dealing with, and the fact that this is a person who probably just needs some help, and instead we ignore them and generally don't even see that they're there, and that's why they call their organization invisible people. So I'm starting to look at a lot of what they have, and then soon I think I'll probably work on starting to kind of establish some kind of relationship between our organizations. I think it's definitely something we could benefit from. So we had a meeting with Paula, and it was amazing. So we talked a lot about donations in kind. We talked a lot about opportunities for identifying funding processes and grants and how we can get through those. She showed us a website that is now called Candid. Used to be something different, but basically you register your organization with them and identify like funding opportunities through all that, and you can advertise your mission in your organization, and then funding sources can actually come to you potentially through it. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to be working on all of that as we hopefully this week get our 501c3 approval back from the IRS. That's going to change a whole lot for us, and I think that'll make this one task a day kind of thing at least become something I'm really going to need to do, because there's going to be several sites and pages and functions that we can now do and enroll in and fully establish, because we'll have that document showing our full 501c3 approval, which I'm expecting to have come in this week again. Let's see what else. Contacted the San Bernardino County Economic Development Board, I think is what it's called. So Paula recommended that potentially beyond looking for regular real estate properties that are going to go through all the normal processes, if we look through the economic development zones and find out what San Bernardino County can do to help us, we may actually be able to get better access to better properties at a lower cost potentially, or at different kinds of funding sources basically. So just basically started contacting them, and I actually have an appointment with them this afternoon, which is Friday, to talk over this and what our relationship will be like going forward, and establish like what our mission is with them, so they understand kind of our goals and our objectives and figure out what they can do to help us out. So that'd be really good. Okay, and then that was Monday. On Monday, I also created a black and white version, just lined out kind of our logo, so that way instead of needing it to always be color and full embroidered or full print or something like that, to maybe potentially have options for being able to do just like a black and white lined out version. So kind of did some of that graphics. And then I got some graphics back this week also from one of the guys working on graphic design for me. So we're looking through those, trying to decide how we want to go forward with getting the final like official logo out there. So that's definitely something I'm hoping to have kind of finalized in the next couple weeks, and then start working new graphics for t-shirts and logos and stickers and stuff. So Tuesday morning, that's when I actually created the account for Candid that my mentor mentioned. Couldn't make it an official organizational profile yet because it does require the 501c3 paperwork. But I did go in there and start exploring through Candid and understanding a little more about what it is. And through that, was able to contact the High Desert Community Foundation, which is an organization here in the East Valley area of San Bernardino County, so Morongo, Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, and they support programs like ours in this area. And what's really great about Candid is you see funding opportunities, and then it shows their total amount that they normally fund, and then how much they funded for their fiscal year, and they kind of keep that report up to date. And you can see basically like, are there still funds available through this organization, which is really great. So they were someone I contacted, said I think that this is something that we can definitely support your mission as the overall what do they call it, the community support foundation, by the program we're doing. So I think just trying to figure out like, what's the process like, what is the application process, what is it you're looking for. So contacted them and hopefully hear from them soon. And then in the last update, the one that's on the website, we talked about the board decided it would be a good idea to go ahead and purchase this electric vehicle that I wanted to get for the organization, because it's small, it's a single person, it's definitely eye-catching, and I think it's something that would draw attention to itself automatically. So having it wrapped with the logos and drawing attention towards this situation in our program and what it is we're doing. But I thought about it afterwards and was like, why couldn't Electromechanica and Solo potentially provide us with some kind of a donation in kind after I figured out this or had this conversation with our mentor. So I sent them an email, contacted them. I had a call with them yesterday, and the guy I'm talking to is the one who coordinates leads basically and is working more on like the sales side of it. So he's going to schedule a time, I guess, for me to talk to overall marketing management and sales, and potentially they can either, and I presented some options. So like full donation, or you want to just do at production costs and we'll still pay, that much. But instead of needing to pay full total and then make profits on it, they can write their profits as donation to us. So that's something that could reduce our costs overall. So that way we can use the funds that we're getting as a more targeted support directly for our program, and not to just trying to run the program. I like to keep those costs as low as possible. So that means a lot of these things like this, I can hopefully cut the total cost by getting some of it done in a donation in kind. So that's one big thing. I contacted them, and hopefully that's moving forward. I'm not super optimistic. I think they're still going to probably want to charge us the full amount, and that's fine. But can't hurt to try. I say all the time, you always miss the shots you don't take. So got to try. Totally worth asking. And in support of this idea of potentially having them donate this fairly large donation, I created a space on the main page of our website where it would say like major supporters right at the bottom of the front page. So you go to the main splash page, and you can see major donors all the way at the bottom. Now maybe I should make a full-on total page for it, but I felt like potentially it would be better draw for those who are the most significant providers, supporters, to have it straight there on the front page. So I went ahead and threw Electromechanica and a picture of their solo up there and a link to their website, just so that I could show them like, this is what I'm talking about. We could potentially put this on here. I'll produce videos like this, talking great stuff about it. So we'll see where it goes. I'm excited about this potential opportunity. But yeah, I created that space so that in the future, we might also be able to get others to be major supporters and then go in there and get links to their sites and talk about how they're helping us out. So that'd be really cool. Yeah, there was a lot on Tuesday because we had that meeting with Paula on Monday, and she had some really, really great, very specific instructions for how we could potentially improve some of the stuff we're doing. She really loved how far we've gotten with our website. So another one was the fact that it said objectives at the top, but then really I was using it for was these kinds of updates. And so change that from objectives to updates, because I feel like that's really the way we're going to probably use that page more than anything. I'm not going to post specific things as like what our goals are. We're going to try to do that as a place to keep everyone up to date as to what it is we're doing. So change that to updates, and then on the take action page, presented the information a little bit differently. Instead of having it being all in one kind of a volunteer piece, and there was one volunteer form, she recommended we split those into two. So there those who are contributing just their time, and then specifically in-kind donations, like we talked about, as a separate thing. So contact us if you're interested in specifically providing some kind of an in-kind donation as the way you want to support us. So rather than doing funds, you could donate clothing or food, or if you have parts for these vehicles we're going to be building, or something else that you think is a good in-kind donation where you want to provide us with an object, and then that object would have a dollar value, and we can then allow that, write some kind of receipt basically to get you a tax write-off for it. So she recommended we separate those, and so went ahead and did that. And I don't know if this was a good decision, but I changed the background of the take action page because it was a very dark background with very bright lights on it. So it was really hard to get the text on the screen to always be visible. And so instead, I put the intro clip video that I've been building for the videos that you should have seen at the beginning of this video. Put that just running in the background constantly. I don't know if I like it. So if you have an opinion on that, leave that in the comments too. Whether or not you think that functioning as a background to the page works or not. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but it was something I wanted to try. I saw that there was an option for video, and I wanted to see what that looked like. And it looks okay, but it is kind of distracting potentially if you're trying to read what's going on. So let me know what you think. So Wednesday I got the bill of sale from Williams County Sheriff's Department for the ambulance, and I was able to sign that, scan it, and email it back. And tomorrow, it might be today when this video comes out. Hopefully I can get this done today. But on Saturday, February 12th, our contact in Ohio near where this is going to actually go pick up the ambulance. So super excited. I'm expecting that we'll produce some kind of a video talking about the ambulance and what he sees and what our next steps are with it. So very excited to kind of start talking about our actual first project potentially. But yeah, we go pick that up on Saturday, and so on Wednesday I printed, signed, scanned, and emailed back to to Williams County the bill of sale for the ambulance. So that way they have it on record, and our contact in Ohio can take a copy to pick up the ambulance. So I'm super excited. That's supposed to happen tomorrow. I can't wait to see what happens. So it was Thursday actually when I got the updated graphics back from Felix, the guy working on some graphics for me, and the board has been reviewing those. We're talking through, which ones we want. It's very nuancy stuff, like are these 2-letter symbol things aligned, or are they, staggered a little, or are they small, or are they big, or whatever. So just trying to make sure that we end up in the end with a logo that we really like. So went over those and gave some feedback. I showed Felix what I had done with the current version that we're using to see if I get his feedback on it too. This guy's actually an experienced graphic designer more than I am. I've done a lot of art design and graphic stuff, but he's a professional. So I tried a couple of days. I tried on Tuesday and Wednesday and on Thursday to create a QuickBooks account using the rescueresidents.org email address, and it would not work. No matter what I did on that website, every time I would click create account, it just hung up and froze. I don't know if there's a problem with their site, but I really wanted to start getting a more detailed handle on where our finances were specifically at. So I looked at Excel. I was just going to create one from scratch. I'm pretty good with Excel, but I saw that there is an actual money management template that Microsoft has in Excel, so I tried that out. So Thursday morning, went ahead and created that, linked it to our account, started compiling stuff and editing the subcategories, so that we could keep a better track as we look at it. And that'll lead towards what I want to cover today, which is I took those numbers because I could view it a little easier, and then I created kind of an overall summary, and I want to show everybody that. It shows kind of our expenses versus what we've put into it, and then where we're at with an overall, which doesn't look as good right now because a lot of it is still very much out of pocket, but we're just getting started, and I think long term there'll be no problem to be able to pay that back. Okay, so it leads to today. So going off of the actual QuickBooks style Excel form template, whatever you want to call it, that I was able to create yesterday. Today I was able to summarize and wanted to go over those summaries with everybody here, and that'll be the end of this video. Okay, so it just automatically switched, so that was fun. I wasn't sure exactly. I just set this OBS on this computer. So as you can see right here, these are all of the expenses we've gotten so far, and then all of the different methods for income directly, and I kind of separately pulled out donations that we needed in order to pay for the ambulance from myself and from Rasan. So right now you can see most of them are LegalZoom, paying for the documentation to actually create the organization, Squarespace to create the website and be able to get that all set up, payment to GovDeals obviously to be able to actually pay for the ambulance, and then just the final one there is with Got Print is where I got these business cards made. I did write in PayPal for fees, but it's kind of hard to track that right now because it's not included in the account side, like our actual bills account. It's something internal to the Facebook side, and I think it's going to be something I can categorize easier once we get our 501c3, because I'm going to contact PayPal and have them identify all of our fees and charges that we had that were done without the approval, and then they'll back pay us for the difference between the two. And then the fees get pretty small inside PayPal, at least. Cuckoo clock. So then let's see. The income stuff, just showing there that one main transfer. So that's all of the donations we got from everybody through PayPal donated in. So that was the total amount that I was able to transfer over in a single transfer. That was everybody else. There were a couple of other small transfers because obviously you can see the difference between that total amount and then the amount I needed in the end to actually pay the total of like $5,700 something for the ambulance. I can pull up the exact number, but I don't have it on top of my head. And it's not summed up right there, but you can see both. There's the the 5,151 and the 643.87. So that's not enough, that 5,377, which was how much I was able to transfer over right away. I had to then personally put more into PayPal a couple times because I calculated it incorrectly. Because I was doing this very last minute, trying to get it to them before their deadline, and still ended up short on it. So I ended up transferring a bit more over, but that's the amount that came from donations. In that list prior to it, basically for donations, was $1,000 directly from Rasan, $150 that I had put in kind of setting up the donation process, and then I actually added afterwards too. There is $43.84 sitting in Patreon right now, and there is actually $100 in PayPal also. And those I'm not going to transfer over right this minute to our account because you take transfer fees each time, and I'll just wait until there's a little more in there. So that shows total from fundraising only and not from the two of us specifically contributing right now, is at $4,271.22. Total expenses of $7,501.50. That includes all of the legal Zoom requirements, all of the website building, and paying for this ambulance, which leaves us as a $3,230.28 negative, which is really just means that stuff that the two of us have paid for so far. So we're still running, everything's still there. It's just all of that is out of pocket. And eventually the goal would be obviously to move from out of pocket expenses to funded expenses through either fundraising like we've done so far, or through grants and other types of monetary support, or even if we can start ideally obviously to reducing costs as we go by having those come in as in-kind donations or through direct donations for support of things we need. So that's really all I wanted to cover. I'm going to switch back to just the main cam. So thank you, and hopefully that's shows you a little bit inside what it is that we're doing and where we're at right now. So going forward, we're going to figure out when we're going to get this ambulance and get it here to Southern California to work on it. I think we'll start by getting it painted and decorated to look like it's a billboard sort of for our organization. We're still not ready to, I don't have properties, and that's a part of a conversation today, to be able to support a veteran who's working with us on this project yet. Don't have a workshop to work on the insides. I'm hoping I can find someone who'd be willing to do the Plastidip paint out here that no one in this area does. At least find a bay that we could use or something along that way. So really kind of slowly but surely moving forward. Next big, hopefully, mile marker will be when we get our 501c3 approval. I'm hoping next week. That's what LegalZoom says anyways. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll talk to you later.